Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Important as Trump's fascism is the lead story every day. His cozying up to dictators, his obsession with Hitler that has now come out, what he has said about our veterans, and what he wants to do with the military against his political adversaries. It's all huge news. This is the future that we're looking at in the next Trump term, if there is one. But this is what voters know right now, that he is killing us. I'm talking about us women. He's killing us.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
No, it's not overstating it, right, to say that the upcoming election is a matter of life and death for people, because people are at risk. And as Morning Joe host Mika Brzezinski said so poignantly in a must-see monologue on MSNBC, we are at a critical time in this country's history, a time that is, quote, really difficult for women. In an emotionally laden 10-minute segment on Morning Joe, co-host Mika Brzezinski did not hold back as she accused Donald Trump of endangering women due to his part in making sure that Roe v. Wade was overturned. Brzezinski, who at one time was not on camera when it appeared she started crying after a testimonial clip from Deborah Dorbert, who was the focus of a recent Washington Post story on the devastating impact the Dobbs ruling has had on families. And after showing the devastating clip, Brzezinski said that Dorbert and her husband were not the only ones impacted by the Dobbs decision. A decision that was, of course, as a result of Trump adding 3 anti-choice justices to the Supreme Court.
Deborah, your bravery goes beyond just having to carry a child to full term only to have baby Milo pass away. Like I said, after only 99 minutes, you've actually taken your bravery into an even bigger public sphere. You testified last month before Congress about your journey and its impact on you and your loved ones. What did it mean for you to be able to have the opportunity to not only personalize what happened to you to Congress, but also give a voice to others?
I just felt honored when Congressman Debbie Wasserman Schultz contacted me, her assistant did, and asked if I would testify for them at the Steering Policy Committee field hearing. It felt very powerful that my voice could speak for all of us and to share what I went through. For me, it's a way to honor my son who passed because he didn't deserve the way he died. And I didn't deserve what I went through with my family.
And after this, with multiple Morning Joe panelists clearly struggling to talk, Brzezinski used this time to go off on Trump. And I'm going to tell you it's worth every minute of your time.
Important as Trump's fascism is the lead story every day. His cozying up to dictators, his obsession with Hitler that has now come out, what he has said about our veterans, and what he wants to do with the military against his political adversaries. It's all huge news. This is the future that we're looking at in the next Trump term, if there is one. But this is what voters know right now, that he is killing us. I'm talking about us women. He's killing us. He is putting us at risk. He is making us afraid to have babies. He is putting our reproductive health at risk, and some women have died already because of this. So we can see right now what's coming. These headlines, and very good reporting, by the way, that shouldn't be questioned by idiots about what Trump has said about Hitler. That's incredibly important to know. But I do understand that people who are busy and that are people who are just tapping in may not be able to comprehend, because we've been free. We've been comfortable. We cannot comprehend that. And I understand that. I validate that it is hard to go from here to there. It is where we're going. I hope we don't find out the hard way. But what's happening with women right now is real, and it is playing out across America.
Now, this comes after Trump's opponent, Kamala Harris, held a town hall on CNN the night prior to this segment, in which she used her time to highlight the existential threat that Trump poses, citing comments from Trump's own former staff to drive home the clear message.
You've quoted General Milley calling Donald Trump a fascist. You yourself have not used that word to describe him. Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I mean, he frequently said to senior staff, why don't my generals support me the way that Hitler's generals supported him? And of course, Hitler's generals, for the most part, did not support him. They tried to assassinate him several times. But just the fact that the president would think of himself, the fact that President Trump would think of himself in the same sentence as Hitler is a terrifying thing. The man quotes Hitler. I mean, phrases like poisoning the blood of the country and enemies of the people, those are things said by Hitler and Stalin as well. And it's not as if he's accidentally quoting them when it's brought to his attention. Sir, you just quoted Hitler. You just quoted Stalin or Lenin. He doesn't mind. He says it again.
And it's not just poignant to highlight the comments from those who were closest to him, but to also remind the American people of the lasting impact of his prior administration today, like testimonies featured on MSNBC to show people that this is as real as it gets. I know that with Trump, you automatically think circus, but the damage that he's already done is astronomical. And in the words of Joe Biden, that's not hyperbole.
Amba Thurman's family have come out on a press call, and they're doing what's called a pre-buttal 2-hour town hall right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah? And I want to
get better ratings, I promise.
Please.
Do you mind turning around?
Yeah.
We'll just do a photo with Kelly.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel. This is the thing about the point on abortion. This is not a conversion, right? It's literally no one should be judged on any level, and it's just my point that government shouldn't be telling people. It is not about ever disputing or criticizing anyone's faith. Ever. Never.
And that's something that
Yeah.
when I look at the abortion question, we talk so much about the right of the woman in those situations, but there's another person involved.
Right.
And that other person sometimes is oftentimes
as long as it's not the government involved.
And that's the point. It's just that the government shouldn't be doing that, So, but I appreciate you asking your question and raising the point.
Yeah, and you have a role as a moral leader too.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll send it to everybody.
His conservative stacked Supreme Court paved the way for things like this to happen. So if you're on the fence somehow, just think of the damage that could occur if he gets a second bite at fascism.
Just one final point about Kamala Harris and Liz Cheney and seeing them up on stage together, talking about democracy and talking about the dangers of a second Trump administration. I just found it striking as well to see two women of wisdom and experience from two completely different backgrounds and two completely different points of view being the example, holding up the pillars of freedom together. It was really impressive, and I hope young women everywhere and everyone everywhere takes a look at what they are doing right now in this moment where what is needed is strength to stand up and speak out and not to cower.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.